my friends. My name is Ed DeCosta, and I've got a provocative question for you. You ready for it? I don't know if you are. Do you love your life? In fact, jot that question down if you got something to write with. Do you love your life, or do I love my life, if you're writing it? Now, let me set it up. As you know, I'm a coach and a speaker and a trainer. Well, the best coaches do very little telling. They do a whole lot of listening and a whole lot of asking of provocative questions. Provocative questions like that. Not necessarily a classic coaching question, but it is provocative. It is intended to get you to think and feel about something that you wouldn't normally, in the course of a given day or week, think about it in a conscious way. Do I love my life? The same thing with a speaker. People often mistakenly think speakers speak. Of course, we get on stage and we speak. That is, in fact, what we do. But our purpose is not to convey information to you. That's part of it, but that's really not what the best speakers are there for. The best speakers are to cause you to think and cause you to feel and have a lasting impact on you. Now, the truth be told, the vast majority of people that you've heard speak, you can't remember their names. You can't remember what they said to you. And it's true of me too. I'm under no delusions that people that have been in my audiences are glued to every single word and they are sitting thinking about me right now. They're not. And that's okay. The point of a talk is to get people to think and to feel. And in fact, what's going on in your head, what's going on in your heart as a direct or indirect result of the talk is really what we're there for. It's not about the data. Now, there are exceptions, of course, technical conferences and whatnot, where it is a reporting kind of a presentation. I'm talking about for personal or professional development. So back to the question, do you love your life? What's your honest answer? If you're like most people, it's a qualified yes. It's yeah, well, sure. And if you and I were in a room together and we explored that answer more fully, what we would generally find, and of course, I don't know what your answer is, but you may be able to relate to this. And when you go beneath the surface, the answer typically is, well, there are aspects of my life that I really like, maybe even some aspects that I really love. But, however, nevertheless, there's some kind of qualifier that's just part of human nature. We've got to qualify. We don't want to say, I love my life. And when you ask people, why did you not just say, I love my life? More often than not, the answer comes back because it's not perfect. Of course, our lives are not perfect. I don't know anybody whose life is perfect. Think of the wealthiest, most famous person on the planet. And if you know anything about their lives, and if you've read anything about some of the happiest people in history, their lives are not perfect. Movie stars, famous, wealthy people, they're not perfect either. And you're not perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. The question is, are you doing everything that you can do to be that best possible version of you? And this question about, do I love my life, or do you love your life? This is what gets us thinking about the areas of our lives that we feel the best about and don't feel so good about, because that's where the meat is. You want to improve your life? You want to get better? You want to have the answer to this question be a little bit different 6 months, 12 months, 24 months from now? Well, follow that feeling or those feelings that question caused you to have. Look at those areas of your life that need the most work, where your current state and your desired state has the biggest gap, and then set about a plan to incrementally get better in that particular area. Literally, it's not a cliche. One day at a time, 1 week at a time, with great intentionality. And again, I use that word all the time. Now, there are going to be people who have more, are more, do more, create more than you, and there are people who are going to be that create less and have less than you. So don't get caught up in a competition. It's really not about that. Those that are fixated on keeping up with the Joneses, I think, are missing the point. Don't keep up with the Joneses. keep up with you. If you're going to compete with somebody, compete with who you are now. Compete with who you were last week. And go make sure that the you that exists next week is better than the you today. I often do it when I look at my own videos, when I look at some of the work that I've done over the years. I enjoy looking at work that I did years ago and cringing and thinking, wow, boy, that's what I thought was really good back then. Well, that's not nearly good enough now. And I'm not talking about being fixated on criticizing yourself or being a perfectionist or locked onto this obsession with perfection. It's not about obsession at all. It's about a reasoned, approach to personal development and getting better. And it all begins with an honest assessment of where you are. And I've said it in many different ways, in many different forms. On a scale from 1 to 10, where are you in all of these areas of the so-called wheel of life? And if you're a 5 in a particular area on a scale from 1 to 10, define what 6 is. If you're a 3 in one area, define what 4 is. If you're a 7 in another area, define what 8 is. Pick 1 or 2 areas and concentrate on those. If you try to solve it all in one fell swoop, you know what happens. You won't be able to typically have the will, the energy, and the determination to follow through on all of them at the same time. So pick 1 or 2. 1 I think is the best number, but some people are compelled to do 2. And make an exerted, concentrated effort for say 6 months on those 2 areas. You only live once. To me, the goal is to live full, die empty. Be the best possible person that you can be. And if you're not there right now, join the club. We're all getting better tomorrow. Again, my name is DeCosta, and I hope you found this helpful. Take care, my friends.